Good day, everyone. I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things. This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Harris Samson claims his ex-girlfriend took advantage of his generosity and didn't pitch in when times got tough. Lisa Walters says Mr. Samson is an emotionally abusive scam artist who doesn't deserve a dime.
All rise.
I didn't want it to come to this.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Samson versus Walters. Mr. Samson, you are suing Ms. Walters for $8,000 for breach of contract. Is that correct?
This is correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Walters, you say that Mr. Samson is a fraud and he's toxic. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, Mr. Samson, please explain to the court why you're here.
Your Honor, I know it must sound silly suing over a loan, but this wasn't a loan. This was actually money that she owed me. We had lived together for over 5 months, and I'd paid all the bills. I paid all the rent, I paid car payments and utilities, everything. I had taken her out to numerous vacations, out to dinner.
Do you have she lived with you, do you have a lease agreement with her, or you just invited her to live with you and you paid all the bills?
I invited her to live with me, and I ended up having to pay all the bills.
Ended up having to pay them all, or was that the agreement when you said, do you want to move in? Ms. Walters, when you moved in with Mr. Samson, did he say to you, this is your portion of the bills, you should pay this every month?
No, he said that he was going to be the provider.
All right. Did you hold yourself out to be the provider, Mr. Samson?
Your Honor, saying the provider does not necessarily mean having to pay for every last nickel for every last thing involved.
Well, I can actually agree with that. However, when you say I'm going to be the provider and you don't also say this is what your contribution will be, most reasonable people would assume provider means you're covering it. So did you say to her, I'm going to provide for you. I've got the house, the large bills. I just want you to cover the cable, utilities, things like that. What was the agreement?
Your Honor, there was no specific agreement ever made.
Oh,
and
well
when,
then that's
when
good.
When I hit the point where I need a little bit of help, I asked for some help. And that was the situation. She was unwilling to provide it.
All right, hold on. How long were you all together before you moved in together?
A year.
1 year, and then you moved in together?
Correct.
You live in a home or an apartment?
It's an apartment,
Okay.
luxury apartment.
How many bedrooms?
It's 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms. All right, so you move into his 2-bedroom apartment and he's gonna provide for you, and your understanding is that you don't owe anything.
Exactly.
And then at some point, Mr. Samson says he needed something, he needed money, and he asked you to loan him money. Do you remember that day?
I do, but when we got together, okay, he came in all charming, you know, like this like smoozy type of guy, and so I was like, okay, great, you know.
What's
like,
smoozy mean?
Like just kind of like someone that just, you know, like has it all together.
Oh, yeah, charismatic,
you know what I mean? Like,
successful.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna take care of you.
Exactly.
That's what your interpretation was.
Yes.
And so how long did you live there before he ended up asking you for some money?
Maybe about like 4 months.
Oh, that was quick. You ran out of money quick, Mr. Samson.
And Your Honor, by the way, it really wasn't portrayed like that.
It wasn't?
No, I explained to her, see, my main business is a restaurant that I own in Cleveland. And I had a bunch of issues when COVID hit. We had a lot of problems with the restaurant, couldn't find staffing. I wasn't able to transition to deliveries right away. And so I headed out there to go turn things around with the restaurant while Lisa stayed at the apartment by herself for a month, and this was before we'd even lived together, okay?
Okay.
Now, when I came back, I explained to her, listen, I'm not gonna be able to keep covering all of this. I've got the apartment rent, which is huge. I've got 2 different cars. I may end up having some problems. So I explained this to her out the gate, so she knew, but continued to stay anyway.
And so, do you remember this conversation, Ms. Walters, where he said, hey, listen, I've been covering everything, but I'm gonna need some help soon?
I do remember it, but again, like he came in saying like, I want to take care of you, I love you, you're my everything.
What did you say when he told you, hey, I need help?
Well, I told him that it didn't sit right with me.
Okay.
And it's not the
Your
fact
Honor,
that
that's
he
not
needed
true.
help.
First of all, I asked her to give me money for the rent that was owed up to that point, which is $8,000.
And so
she
you had
said
paid
no.
$8,000 in rent?
No, I paid $16,000 in rent.
So you just wanted half?
I just wanted half.
Oh, okay, so you retroactively said, and give me, for all the time you lived here.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I'm not even counting the vacations. I'm not counting all the expensive dinners. I'm not counting any of that. I'm not counting the
This sounds real
cars.
raggedy, Mr. Sampson.
Coming up,
And did you agree to loan him the money?
I did at first.
All right.
I had someone by the name of Reezy Deezy DM me, okay, telling me that they were in a relationship, that he said that he was low on money, and asked her for $10,000.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with exes Harris Samson and Lisa Walters, who are in court arguing over money spent during their relationship.
I mean, it'd be different if you even said, hey, starting next month, can you begin to help me pay half the rent? But you said, I want the back rent since you've been here.
Right, right.
Okay. And so did she agree to that?
She didn't like it, and I understood why.
Me too.
I mean, I kind of understood why.
Me
So,
too.
because typically in my relationships, I've always covered everything.
Okay,
and
but
I've
it
done
was
that.
the pandemic, and
But this was a rough situation, and I really needed some help. And after so much, everything that I put in, anyway, she agreed.
you're
And
looking at evidence. What evidence did you bring?
I have the agreement that we both signed.
All right, that's what I want to see.
Here. I'll take everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. All right, so this is a promissory note.
Yeah, so what ended up happening, just so I can clarify it before you go over the contract, was I agreed with her. I said, look, I understand. So let's just do it this way. Loan me $8,000 for my business that I've been spending basically the last 8 months putting together. And I had I was just illiquid at the moment, and I needed a little bit of help to get things flowing. So I said, loan me the money, and I will pay you before the end of the year. Even though really, I mean, the money was owed to me, but still, that was the way that I could get it done.
And did you agree to loan him the money?
I did at first.
All right.
Until I had someone by the name of Reezy Deezy DM me, okay, telling me that they were in a relationship, that he said that he was low on money, and asked her for $10,000. And
Wait, you got a DM? Do you have a copy of that DM with you?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see that. So you randomly get a DM by somebody named Reezy Deezy.
Yes.
Your Honor.
And hold on. Reezy Deezy said, hey, Chica, are you friends with Harris Samson? You say, yeah, we're together. We need to talk, she says. Oh, okay, what's going on? She says, I wanted to approach you woman to woman. This may be a shock to you, but 6 months ago, we're seeing each other. He told me that his business was struggling, and I gave him $10,000. We're both women, and I just don't want to see him take advantage of another woman. He led me on, and I don't want to see that happen to you. And you write back, oh, whoa, this is a lot to process. So you get this communication. And so instantly, the whole, can you give me $8,000, loan it to me, started to feel what? A little sketchy to you?
After I had this conversation with her, I just thought, okay, this is starting to make sense now. You know, he is a scammer, he is toxic, and he's emotionally abusive.
And how is he emotionally abusive?
Well, he would have these sessions with me where he would sit me down and say, oh, you know, why can't you be like so and so, you know, and he would bring me down.
These were no personal attacks whatsoever. These were issues to do with business. So this was to help her succeed. So I was telling her what areas she was missing. And I guess she's not used to being spoken to plainly. Because I was just telling her, you need to do this. You can't let this stuff not get done or else it will end up costing you money. It was her money I was trying to protect. It was her business I was helping her build.
But I didn't ask you to coach me. You just decided to.
We discuss business all the time.
No, I know that we did, but I didn't ask you to critique me on what I was doing, how I was running my business. You know, it's like you decided to go in there and do that.
You asked for help with the business, and I gave you help with the business, which,
All right,
which
so,
included.
Mr. Samson, I understand that you feel like you brought a lot of value to Ms. Walters' life. You have enumerated every single thing you did for her in the relationship. What is problematic to me is that it's almost like I'm doing for you with like this expectation of getting something in return, and I've got this in my pocket, so whenever I need to use it, I can throw it out and say, listen,
No.
I've given you all this, now it's time for you to help me.
Your Honor, I might have felt like I needed some help, but that's how you feel when you're with your partner. You know, you're both doing stuff. We're working on businesses together. We're helping each other. And I mean, you should feel like you can
Why
count
did you
on
sign
and
the
you're
promissory note, Ms. Walters?
Well, at first, I didn't really, I guess, think much about it, which I should have, and that was my fault, you know, because I thought, okay, I know that he needs help, and, you know, it didn't sit right with me. I didn't receive that DM until after I had signed it. Does that make sense?
Your Honor?
Yeah, you got the
Your
DM
Honor.
after you signed it.
Yes.
Yes.
So then that's when I started to question, like, okay, like, I don't want to give you my money after knowing that you scammed somebody else.
Coming up.
When I had her sign that, that's for her protection, not mine. This is so she has it in writing. If I wanted to rob somebody, I wouldn't put my name on the contract.
Please keep walking
Right?
this plank. Please keep walking this plank.
You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with exes Harris Samson and Lisa Walters, who are in court arguing over money spent during their relationship.
What I don't like about your testimony, Mr. Samson, is because first you tried to say, you owe me, so I want you to give me $8,000, which is half of $16,000, and I want that money. Then it was like you spun a new idea. Well, you know what then? I need help, and it needs to be a promissory note. It seemed very pressured and very manipulative
Your
before
Honor.
she even told me about the DM.
Okay, first of all, with the DM, that was an ex-client. I never even went out with her. That was for services rendered. But the situation was she was enamored with me, wanted to bring the relationship beyond business into a personal relationship, and I was already with Lisa. So I ended up breaking off a very lucrative relationship with her.
A lucrative relationship.
Business relationship with consulting work that I was doing.
Is this the same woman that DM'd her?
Yes.
She said it was more than just a business relationship.
It was not at any time. She wanted it to be, and that was the issue. See, either she wanted to get even with me because she maybe thought I led her on, or she wanted Lisa to drop me so she could swoop in. It was one of the two. But Your Honor, none of this even matters, and I'm going to tell you why right now. What happened was I had partnered with someone who was also a very successful coach, and we're putting together a big show we're going to do.
Why are you doing a show and you can barely keep your restaurant afloat?
To bring in customers. This was going to bring in customers and make far more money.
So why make her sign something?
If I was a crook, I would have let her just give it to me.
She
'cause
wasn't
then I
going to
could
give it
come
to
here.
you. She didn't give it to you. That's why you're here, right?
Right.
Right.
Listen, when I had her sign that, that's for her protection, not mine. This is so she has it in writing. If I wanted to rob somebody, I wouldn't put my name on the contract.
Please keep walking
Right?
this plank. Please keep walking this plank.
Coming up.
It isn't comfortable for me as a woman and as a judge, and I'm not even in a relationship with you. Point blank, I smell a rat.
You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with exes Harris Samson and Lisa Walters, who are in court arguing over money spent during their relationship.
Keep going.
Anyway, like I said, I would have dropped all this. I would have let it go right there. But this is what ended up happening. She took those direct messages and posted it online and provided a link to the consulting show that I was doing. So when anybody searched my consulting show that I've been working on for months, they got that.
What did you post? Tell me.
So I posted that link and those messages because this is beyond me, okay?
Did you move out of his house?
Yes, I did. I left him too. So I wanted to protect other women from his scams.
Your Honor,
and
she's
whatever
gonna
else is going
believe
on,
Reezy
okay?
Deezy over her boyfriend who's taking care of her for the last year and a half, taking her out all over the place, paying for everything, never lied to her, and she's gonna believe Reezy Deezy? How does that work?
I'm all about a limitless life, but this is just too much going on for a man that needs to borrow $8,000 from a woman and who obviously pressured her into this. She said she didn't want to do it before she did it, and then gets a note from another woman who says you pressured her, and now I'm in a position where this is obvious to me what it feels like, and I know common sense ain't common no
All
more.
right.
Hold on, but I still got some.
Okay.
This does not add up. The way you're operating as a man, it isn't comfortable for me as a woman and as a judge, and I'm not even in a relationship with you. Point blank, I smell a rat.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
Ms. Walters, as a woman, I am very happy you got that DM because I don't think you would have ever seen that $8,000. There were too many hoops, too many things he was jumping through trying to get this same amount of money. And I am happy and proud of you as a woman for, even though you walked a little bit too deep into a relationship, you are perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. If you had $8,000 to lend him, you had $8,000 to take care of yourself.
Your Honor, I gotta be the worst.
Don't talk to me no more, Mr. Sampson. I'm done talking to you. Because I don't like how it's a pressured-filled energy, and it's almost like you think you're gonna out-talk me, but you've got the wrong one.
You're missing the biggest
Mr. Sampson,
point.
I'm not missing the big. We've been talking for 20 minutes. If you haven't made your biggest point yet, you don't have a big point. Judgment
can
for
make
the
it
defendant, court is adjourned. Woo, I'm sick of him.
All rise.
Oh.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the
I knew
defendant.
it.
The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
So what have you learned?
Choose yourself.
Any thoughts on the verdict?
Yeah, absolutely. She was incorrect. You know, you should be able to trust the person that you're with, and I wasn't able to do that.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.